So a couple of weeks ago, we were at EGX, and I must have played about 40 games, and every single day I kept coming back to Ni no Kuni 2, and I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. The demo showed off some gameplay in terms of combat and world building, story. It was really good, and not just me, but the rest of the team, we all loved it. So I decided I wanted to try and get some more information, so I sat down with Karla Pett, who's the UK product manager at Bandai Namco Entertainment, to see if I could find some more information about the game that maybe I couldn't find out on the show floor. So I conducted a little interview, and this is what you're about to watch now, so enjoy. Here's some new information about Ni no Kuni II, the Revenant Kingdom. So I'm here to talk about Ni no Kuni II. I've played the demo multiple times. It's the game I keep coming back to, and it's probably the most exciting game for me of the conference so far. I've been here for a couple of days and I keep coming back to it time and time again. I think the first thing I want to really talk about, the battle system this time seems to be real time as opposed to turn-based, and this has also come with the loss of familiars and the addition of higgledies. So could you talk a little bit more about the change in combat?
Obviously Ni no Kuni, the first one, is a very, very true, very authentic JRPG. And the turn-based battle style kind of comes with that, and it's very, very beautiful. But Level 5 are a really dynamic, really innovative studio, and they always want to take it one step further. You know, they never want to just keep making the same game. So for them, they kind of looked at it as a big Western release. It's a worldwide release. Everything's coming out on the 19th of January, and they're like, okay, so how do we take it that little bit further, make it that little bit more accessible for people that maybe are a little bit put off by the JRPG sort of tropes that they're used to. So they decided they were going to embrace this sort of very accessible, very like hands-on and friendly action RPG style, as we've seen in lots of things like Zelda and Kingdom Hearts, and really just push the series forward a little bit. And yes, we've lost the familiars, but we have actually gained the higgledies, as you say, and they're basically adorable, cute little creatures that can only be seen by the pure of heart in Ni no Kuni, and they're going to help Evan on his quest by supporting him in battle, whether that's, you know, buffs or healing or some really huge big attacks you might have seen obviously in the demo.
That's right.
They're basically going to be your little buddies. They're going to keep him safe, and they're going to work with him the whole way through the game. And
there's also a bit more of a strategic, tactical, kind of chibi looking, over the top, like it's like a tactical army fighting style, kind of reminiscent of games like Overlord or Pikmin is what I can liken it to. Maybe could you let me know a little bit more information about that and the role that will play in the overall story?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is, like you say, squad based or troop based, kind of skirmish mode, and it allows Evan to basically recruit new people into his kingdom and recruit allies, and then head out into the kingdom again and expand his borders and just basically move across the world map. It's on top of that, and a lot of people when they first saw the world map were a little confused that we'd moved to this slightly smaller chibi aesthetic, but it's because of this new mechanic and this new diorama, and Level 5 are really working to make sure it's super fun. It's kind of like a mini mode on top, and that you can kind of get stuck into it. It's got a bit of a rock, paper, scissors sort of aspect as you go out into the world, and it's a really fun little mode to play.
This time, despite it being Ni no Kuni 2, it's a little bit of a departure from the well-loved characters like Drippy. We're hundreds of years ahead this time. What's happening with the storyline this time?
Yeah, so he's King Evan of Ding Dong Dell, and he's risen to the throne quite young. And I think there are certain members of his court, including Minister Mausinger, who are a little bit worried that he's not ready to be a king. He's a little bit weaker, and so he is overthrown in a coup and loses the kingdom of Ding Dong Dell and is sort of lost in that. And his whole quest is to go and establish himself as a true leader and a good king, and be the kind of man that can take care of his people. And so his whole quest is to become a true king and to unite the kingdoms of Ni no Kuni. So he's got help to do that in the form of Roland, who's actually a president from our world, who's come over into Ni no Kuni, and the two of them are going to head out into the world and try and unite the different kingdoms.
A lot of people were discussing the sort of departure as a collaboration with Studio Ghibli, although there was still a lot of influence there. I noticed the score, the fantastic score from what I played anyway. But with Level 5 having a lot more creative control, is there any more surprises that can unfold throughout the game?
I think people are going to be constantly surprised and exhilarated by the game as they go through, and they're obviously meeting new characters, meeting new friends, meeting new races and different kingdoms as they go through. They're going to have some very cool villains that they're going to have to take down. But yeah, although it's moved away from Studio Ghibli, we still have Yoshiyuki Momose, who obviously worked on the first game and was responsible for all the character art, for all the storyboards and moving that forward, and he's working with us again on this game, and Joe Hisaishi doing the soundtrack. So although there is that departure, Level 5 are very true to the Ghibli aesthetic. They have a very similar, it's a bit silly, but they have very similar soul. They have a very similar passion and want to create beautiful work, and they work really beautifully together. So with Yoshiyuki Momose and Joe Hisaishi and Akihiro Hino, we know we've got three exceptionally good artistic masters at the helm. So it's coming out on the 19th of January next year. There are 3 different SKUs available. You've got your beautiful big collector's edition called the King's Edition. You've got a slightly smaller SKU called the Deluxe Edition, and you've got obviously the standard game, and it's coming out on PS4 but also on PC and digital. So hopefully that's going to mean that PC fans who have always been clamouring and saying, you know, we really want to play Ni no Kuni, they're going to be able to play the game as well.